Brighton getting closer, but so is the end of the fixture. 4 minutes plus added on time. Don't think we're going to get a lot of added on time either. Here is Trossard. It's off Brighton, of course, and now Zinchenko towards Declan Rice. Trossard wants it left-hand side. Here he is. Trossard under pressure from Hinchelwood. Still has it though, Leandro Trossard. Flicks it through cleverly for Ødegaard. And now with Nketiah. Nketiah's got Saka right-hand side. Oh, and Havertz is in here on the left. It's Havertz! The cheer is all you need to know as the German doubles Arsenal's advantage with just 3 minutes remaining. Credit Leandro Trossard, who showed real persistence and skill before playing it through the lines. And when Nketiah was free, he had options left and right. Left was Havertz, who finished with real composure. And surely, given we've only got a few minutes left, that is that.
That is that, and everything started with Trossard. That little through ball to Ødegaard was when he just killed it all for Brighton. They were in that pressing on Trossard, and he managed to get that little turn back pass to Martin Ødegaard. Then fed it to Nketiah on his own. As you mentioned, at both sides, he had Saka on the right-hand side or Havertz on the left. He picked the right one. Havertz ended up on a 1v1, pulled it away, and that is that. Feel a bit better now.
Well, we can breathe a sigh of relief because we've got a little bit of a cushion in terms of scoreline. We're going to see Smith Rowe and Reiss Nelson come on. We're also going to find out how many minutes of added on time we're going to get here as well. Well, Kai Havertz, last act was to give Arsenal a second. That has really settled the nerves here because Brighton were getting busier. Emile Smith Rowe, after injury, great to see him back. And Reiss Nelson also going to come on as well here. Bukayo Saka is to be replaced. And in the end, 2-0 doesn't flatter Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal have been 2 goals better today, I think.
100%, yeah. It should, you know, should have been even more. I think we've just been such a better team, in particular in the second half. We've dominated, and it would have been cruel to concede a goal and end up drawing. So yeah, no, I think it's well deserved. The way we've played, the chances we've created, and everything about the game is just been Arsenal in that second half. Brighton had only a couple of moments where they've looked dangerous and looked like they could nick a goal, but apart from that, it's just been Arsenal all second half, really.
Well, with a bit of a cushion now, Arsenal just got to manage the game from here on in. Brighton have shown a little bit more offensive ambition and ability in the last 10 or 15 minutes, but they didn't take their big chance, and they had one big chance and a couple of half chances as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Now the biggest one's obviously Gross, who had that open goal and picked the wrong foot, the wrong surface to score, but
here's Hinchelwood again. Now it's with Gross. Player's gone down off the ball here, crossing towards João Pedro, and it's flicked behind by Reiss Nelson for a Brighton corner. They've not given it up just yet.
6 minutes added time.
6 minutes have added on time. Didn't think we'd get that much, but a few celebrations there might have clicked it on for a minute or two.
Yeah, a few substitution as well,
yeah,
maybe.
That's true. So, Brighton with a corner. Everyone back for Arsenal. Arsenal lead by 2-0. Jesus and Havertz. In comes the corner. Good-looking ball in, but Raya just stands his ground and gets a pat on the head from Gabriel and says, just wait for a second before I get up and roll it out. Just wonder with Brighton as well, yes, they've got injuries, but, you know, first season ever in Europe. And although Arsenal are back in the Champions League, been in the Europa League recently, and obviously historically been in the Champions League a lot longer, and it's how the whole club manages those sort of midweek weekend, and, you know, Brighton's league results have suffered. They've won 2 of the last 11 if we include this one. You know, it's
not
difficult.
coincidence.
Yeah,
it's not coincidence, obviously, you know, that struggled more in the Premier League than in past season. It's just, yeah, when you had a European game, it takes a lot out of you, physically, emotionally, and they've done so well in Europa League. And unfortunately, Premier League result have suffered because of it.
Does happen. Saw it with West Ham last season, really. Even though they went on to win the Conference League, of course. Incidentally, games around the country off at the moment, or ongoing at the moment. West Ham 3, Wolves 0, speaking of West Ham. And it's the Community Stadium across town from where we are. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 2. Ollie Watkins with what could have been, or could be a late winner there. Brentford down to 10. Smith Rowe, and now Nketiah taps it forward for Trossard. Is there a third here for Arsenal? Performance deserves it as Trossard comes forward up against Van Hecke, tries to get across him with the outside of the boot. It's cleared away. João Pedro has it now. Rice tries to win it back and does win it back. Brilliant from Declan Rice again. Looks to curl it inside towards the far post. Trossard will knock it down to the edge of the area. The shot from Smith Rowe. It's spilled. Well, the save from Verbruggen initially, and it doesn't come out to an Arsenal player, and the referee is blown anyway.
Gutted for Smith Rowe. I would have loved him to score. He's had such a tough time with injuries lately. It would have been so good for him. He just does everything right, really. There's not much space for him to pull the trigger. He managed to do it, but it's too much on the keeper. Straight on him, yeah.
Zinchenko off for Kivior.
To be replaced by number 15, Jakob Kivior.
So that's the alteration for Arsenal as we dive further into added on time here. 3 minutes remaining of the added on 6. Toma had a couple of good runs in the second half. Didn't see anything of him in the first.
I think he was in the first. He was more focusing on helping James Milner defending on Bukayo Saka, I felt.
Very true. João Pedro has looked lively since coming on. Races 3 down the centre. Looks to play it towards Mitoma, who controls and then flicks it back towards João Pedro, who spins away from a couple of Arsenal players. Everything a little narrow for Brighton at the minute. No one wide right. Van Hecke has to slow it down. Now it's with Pascal Gross, still probably thinking about that miss at 1-0.
Yeah, that's a big turn in this game.
Gross again, clips it inside the penalty area, looks for Buonanotte, over the head of Buonanotte and Kivior. Buonanotte will charge to try and keep it in play. Can't beat Kivior though. Wants an out ball, plays it towards Nketiah, but Nketiah just caught on his heels. Dunk for Gross. Now it's with Igor Julio, and Dunk again. He's going to have a crack from distance. Well, if you're a Bright, I mean, I know we're in the 95th minute, but you know, your centre half has one from 30 yards.
Well, with everything he's done this game, the tiredness, the fatigue, everything, just putting the trigger from that far away. Yes, it's putting up in club level, this one.
Yeah. It's probably not the box where the boys are. We've got a minute of added on time remaining. David Raya takes his time. Arsenal lead by 2-0. In lots of ways, the scoreline is going to suggest a comfortable afternoon. In truth, it's been a little tougher, but there's no doubt that Arsenal deserve this. Clip forward for Zinchenko, but it's overhit.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's well deserved. They've looked dangerous sometimes, a few times in the second half, even in the first half. You know, they had a few times when they dominated the game and had possession, but overall, I think we've been way more dangerous than they have.
Very much so. It's been a good display. Really should have had more, but I'm sure Mikel Arteta would be relatively satisfied. Will always demand more from his players, I'm sure, but 2-0 win against good opponents. Good workout. Here is Billy Gilmour. Brighton is still trying. We've had 6 minutes of added on time, and offside flag has gone up on that far side, and that might be it. Quick check of the watch from our referee. That is the 90. Arsenal back on track after the defeat against Aston Villa in the last Premier League game. And it's been an interesting game in many ways. Arsenal have been the better side by a long way here, but haven't taken their chances. Goals from Jesus and Havertz in the end were enough to get the points. But look, last weekend could have easily gone Arsenal's way, it didn't. This weekend we're a little concerned when Gross missed a sitter for 1-1. But ultimately, Arsenal played pretty good football over the last couple of weekends. The defeat to Aston Villa, hopefully, will only be a bookmark in the season. Arsenal back on track, Jeremy, with a good win today.
Yeah, good win. Yeah, I think, like you said, we could have scored more though, and that's after last weekend losing at Villa when we had all them chances and didn't put any away. It's good to at least put 2 away, but I think the way we've played, we deserve to score more goals, and that's going to be something in the future that we're going to have to improve on. You know, Liverpool next week away, you're going to have to take your chances. If you do get that many going forward, creating that much, you've got to pull them away, otherwise it will cost you.
And obviously just important as well with Manchester City drawing yesterday, Liverpool playing a little bit later on today, puts a bit more pressure on them, doesn't it?
100%. As long as you keep doing your job, getting the point on the board, you're putting pressure on the opposition. Now Liverpool, to stay up, has to win today. So, yeah, they'll start the game knowing, even if we're still very early in the season, you know, it's still a lot of game to be played and a lot of points to be won. But, yeah, when you do your job and win, then you put the others under pressure.
1 goal for Jesus, 1 goal for Havertz, as Arsenal jump up to the top of the table here with success over Brighton, with Liverpool playing, of course, a little bit later on today. So we pass you back to AD and to Nick and all the gang upstairs. Full-time score here, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0.
Oh, it sounds so nice, and it's a fact. We're top of the league, you know what I mean? With a comprehensive win over Brighton.
Let's enjoy it. Yeah, honestly, that was a great performance, wasn't it? I just thought it was so polished, just incredibly polished from start to finish. The attitude was on point. Our off-the-ball work was near perfect, and then on the ball, I just felt there was so much composure and skill and imagination. I loved that performance. I thought that's one of our best here at Emirates against a quality team. Because we made Brighton look so ordinary today, but Brighton are good, and we've cruised that. And I think if it was 4 or 5-0, that would have been a fair reflection. So yeah, well done to everybody. I thought it was outstanding.
Yeah, it really was. And you know, we were talking about the fact that they're normally quite, you know, dominant with possession. They didn't do that today, really. We were talking about the fact that they score in pretty much every game.
Well, it's first time they've not scored in a game this season. Only the second time ever since De Zerbi took over where they haven't scored away from home. You know, it's really good. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. Anyone want to grab the mic?
Yeah, I mean, I felt the goal was coming, right? We all saw from the first half when you did something. I think a set play was a good way to kick that off. But we just had before the stats. I couldn't believe they had more possession. It didn't feel that at all.
Yeah.
No. You know, when they did have it, okay, there was a few hairy moments towards the end, but it was never in doubt once we had that second goal. I mean, and we were sort of controlling the game for most of it. Game state changed a bit after the goal, as it always does, but you know, we played brilliantly.
Yeah, agreed. Well, fully deserved, you know.
Yeah, like at 1-0, you're always a little bit on edge.
When they had that chance, didn't they? You know, obviously if that goes the other side of the post, it's a different story. But, you know, we went down the other end and killed the game.
Well, look, we saw the stats ahead of kickoff. No one had scored more goals in open play than Brighton. I mean, it didn't look like scoring today. Just that one half chance at the near stick, and that's it. I think the shot count was like 24-4 or something like that. Yeah, it was as one-sided as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, it comprehensively beaten. Should say as well, the Aston Villa-Brentford game, Villa have turned it round. It's 2-1. We're in the 13th minute of injury time there, and both teams have had a player sent off.
Okay, well, look, you know, we're ahead of Villa. I think we'll stay ahead of Villa. Don't worry about that. And yeah, I think it's us, Liverpool or City, and we just got to keep churning out these wins. It's not just the win today. I think it's the way we did it. And it matters, because I think that the players will think, blimey, we've we're like miles better than Brighton. We're miles better than Brighton.
It wasn't the case last year.
It wasn't. Yeah, absolutely wasn't the case. And when City played Brighton, they weren't miles better than them. And Liverpool, you know, I'm interested to see how other teams match up against Brighton moving forwards, because I don't think I've seen them get outplayed like that for ages. Maybe not at all under De Zerbi. So that is very impressive.
Yeah, well, the first thing that we've learned from today's game is very much in that lane, I guess. You know, this dominant display was packed with control, imagination and quality. I mean, the first one of those would definitely please Mikel Arteta. We know how much he loves controlling games, but we had the kind of bright sparks when we needed them as well.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't boring, was it? We had these moments every now and again, you know, where a player would, in their own half, drop a shoulder, flick one round the corner, they would flick it around. Yeah. There was a little bit of flair in there.
The Ødegaard ball, the Gabriel Jesus kind of like little flick over.
There was an outside of foot pass from Ødegaard in that first half. We manoeuvred out of these tight positions so many times, and then even for that goal, they think we're going down the wing. We just chop it inside to from Ødegaard to Nketiah, and he's away. And how many times do we have a player running at the heart of that Brighton defence in that second half? I mean, it just felt like it was happening every 5 minutes. And from this one, we get the goal with Kai Havertz, who produced a lovely little cool finish, didn't he, in that 1v1. And I was so pleased to hear that song sort of ringing around Emirates Stadium. It was great.
He scores again.
He does.
Yeah. All the rest of it. Right, the second thing that I want to take from the game is a player that me and you can't stop talking about, it would seem. Declan Rice was just unbelievable.
Well, go on. What do you guys want to say about Declan Rice?
Authoritative midfield show.
It's just like so get things in control, and all this duo, all this pass is just so beautifully finished, and just love him.
Yeah, they just couldn't get out. He pinned them in, didn't he? Because we know that that Brighton want to play out from the back, and they wouldn't stop playing out from the back. But every time they got past the 18-yard box, there he was.
His anticipation was just unbelievable as well.
He was just there, wasn't he? So he was all over them like a rash, and just too strong. It looked like he was like, in a kid's game, he was like the big kid, wasn't he? He was like that bit stronger than everybody else, a bit faster, a bit stronger, and it was a bit unfair that Brighton were trying to get past him because they just couldn't.
I mean, he something that we noticed is he won the ball quite high up the pitch quite a few times, but it wasn't just that. It was the fact that when he won it, he laid it off to someone, and it immediately led to kind of like a bit of a chance.
Yeah, exactly. They were risking it. They were playing it into midfield, and he was always there to win it. And then he drove forward. I mean, there was another run down that left side.
When he scored.
He dropped the shoulder, didn't he? And then he flicked it down the line, and he just kept on going and going. That second half performance in particular was imperious from Declan Rice. Pure class. He was a bargain, wasn't he?
Someone should phone up West Ham and give him an extra 10 million quid. You know what I mean? He's just unbelievable. Unreal. Speaking of unreal and unbelievable and all those superlatives, the third thing that we could take from the game today is about our number 9. An intoxicating Gabriel Jesus performance was rewarded with a goal. I mean, once again, I feel like if we weren't Arsenal fans, the best way to describe Jesus is just a nuisance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he was more than that today, wasn't he? He had so much skill just in that performance.
A menace.
There's a piece of skill, wasn't there, in the second half, which fizzed into him. He's under pressure, he touches it, and then he flicks it over the guy and turns. I mean, the crowd just went, whoa, didn't they?
I'm so glad we've got him.
I love watching him. I just think he's so entertaining. And I don't think he gave the ball away today. Last time I looked, he didn't lose it once. So for a centre-forward to go through a game, not losing it. And also he's tried things. I just thought it was a near-perfect centre-forward's performance. Obviously his goal comes from a corner, a 10th, I think, of the season, from a set-piece. It flicks off the head of the Brighton player. He's peeled around the back. It's really good positioning, and he scores. So, great day for him. I think Jesus was great. Rice were great. They were probably the two picks, but everyone played well today. It was a really accomplished 90 minutes.
Yeah. Smith Rowe got on as well, just an honourable mention for Emil. You know, it's been a while in the Premier League, but he's back now and he nearly got a goal, so it's great to see.
Look, that position is feeling more and more like Kai Havertz's position now, isn't it? He's really staking a claim for it. But we know that Smith Rowe is available to come on and help us wherever we need him. And I want to see more of him. I think we all do. But yeah, it would have been nice for him to score. I think 4-0 would have been a fair score today. So I feel a bit shortchanged that we only got 2, but we would have taken it because I think everybody thought Brighton would score because they always score. So for us to shut them out like that, love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, Liverpool next then, Christmas Eve. What are your thoughts ahead of that? I mean, it's good preparation.
I love the game. I love Liverpool-Arsenal games. They're always good games, aren't they? I mean, we've had a few nightmares.
Christmas Eve.
We've had a few nightmares at Anfield, let's be honest. I was there once where we were 4-0 down after 20 minutes. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That was painful.
Yeah.
But I think we're better than Liverpool. I do. This is as hard as it gets. They've got a perfect record at Anfield this season. They've won every game at Anfield by at least 2 goals apart from 1. But they've got flaws. At the back, they're not solid. That midfield is more attacking, but I think you can get at them. So I think it'll be a great game. I really do. I think if we can control it like we did today, that would be perfect. Control it, be on the front foot, score goals. I think we have potential to go there and outplay them. I do think that, but at the same breath, they have potential to hurt any team because it's Liverpool, it's at Anfield, and they've got an unbelievable forward line. So it's a scary game, one where if we're not at it, we could concede 3 goals and lose the game. But my feeling in the here and now is that we can go there and control it and create a lot of chances. It's just, can we take those chances? I hope so.
Yeah, and by Christmas Eve, I mean Christmas Eve's Eve. It's the 23rd,
Yeah, 23rd.
basically.
Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah.
But we want to win that because then we will be top of the league at Christmas, which is nice. Isn't it?
It's a nice mental boost as
And
well.
I've got another Christmas jumper that's got us on top of a Christmas tree. So I can't wear that unless we're top.
Right.
So we need to win.
Going to bring that one out next week then?
I'll have it in my bag.
Right, okay. Clarke, thank you very much for your company today. Thank you to our studio audience here as well. Brilliant. And thank you for watching The Breakdown Live. As always, we will be back next week for that crunch game against Liverpool. Make sure you join us. It is a 5:30 kickoff, so of course we'll be on from 4:30 on Arsenal.com and the app. We'll see you then. Take care.
Woo!